Welcome back to NXT. Tonight, one of the most anticipated moments of the entire year just went down: the triumphant return of the former NXT Tag Team Champions, Fraxiom. Frazer and Axiom stepped back into the ring for the first time since losing their titles back in April at NXT Stand and Deliver, and let me tell you, they came back with a statement. Standing across the ring from them was an exciting new tag team pairing making their official debut: the Scottish powerhouse Noam Dar and the rising Spanish speedster Romeo Moreno. And before the match even started, we got the story. Romeo Moreno himself convinced Fraxiom to take this match. He wanted to test himself against the very best. He wanted to prove he belonged in that ring with the former champions. The commentators made a huge point to highlight the connection between Axiom and Romeo, both Spanish wrestlers, both from Madrid. Axiom is a mentor figure to the young, hungry Moreno. This was personal. This was about respect and proving yourself at the highest level. The bell rang, and from the opening moments, the pace was insane. Axiom and Dar locked up, felt each other out, traded near falls. Axiom with a springboard arm drag, a dropkick. Dar responding with a backslide. Romeo tagged in, and here's where it got interesting. There was this moment where Frazer hesitated just a beat, sizing up the young Moreno. And then they locked up. And Romeo kept pace. Every single move Frazer threw, Romeo had an answer. They went back and forth, and Moreno almost caught the former champion with a sunset flip. The crowd was alive. But then Dar and Moreno started to take control with incredible teamwork. A springboard dropkick from Romeo. A head scissors. Dar with a kick to send Axiom flying to the floor. Romeo with a springboard crossbody to the outside, taking out both members of Fraxiom. And then Noam Dar hit an Oriera moonsault off the ring post. The Orlando crowd went absolutely crazy. Dar and Moreno had complete control of the match. But that's when Fraxiom started to find their rhythm. Axiom landed on his feet, hit a dropkick. Frazer tagged in, and the pace absolutely skyrocketed. They hit stereo dives first in perfect unison, then slightly staggered. They took Dar back inside with an assisted missile dropkick. Romeo barely springboarded in to break up the count. The action became absolutely frantic. Dar hit a European clutch for a 2 count, then a small package for another near fall. Both teams locked in ankle locks at the same time, but Fraxiom broke free. Romeo almost stole it with a small package after a suplex, but Frazer kicked out at 2. And then came the final sequence. Dar and Moreno hit a double body slam. Romeo dove right into a double superkick party from Axiom and Frazer. The young speedster went down. Axiom climbed to the top rope and hit the Spanish fly on Dar. But Moreno was back in, and Axiom caught him with the golden ratio. Frazer followed it up with the Phoenix Splash. 1, 2, 3. Fraxiom wins. The former NXT Tag Team Champions pick up the victory in their triumphant return. But here's what really mattered tonight: Romeo Moreno proved something huge. He kept pace with two of the most innovative, fastest wrestlers in all of NXT. The young Spanish speedster showed the world he is not just a talent, he is a future star. And after the match, Frazer made a gesture of respect. He told Dar that Romeo should be his tag partner. That is a massive compliment in professional wrestling. Frazer basically told the world that Romeo Moreno is the future of this business. Fraxiom is back. Romeo Moreno has announced himself. The NXT Tag Team division just got a whole lot more interesting. That's it for this incredible moment from NXT on June 9th. If you loved this match, smash that like button, drop a comment telling me what you thought, subscribe so you never miss a single highlight, and I will see you right back here for the next one. This is your NXT home. Peace. Words. Massive stakes. This is how you build a SummerSlam program. And speaking of the bloodline, Jacob Fatu, GUSO and Jimmy USO showed up in Rollins' locker room to remind him to choose his words carefully. Fatu was ice cold and crystal clear. He acknowledged Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns alone. Meanwhile, the Usos told Rollins to worry less about Roman and focus on the King of the Ring tournament. He has to actually survive first. The Bloodline's internal dynamics are shifting by the week, and every single conversation between its members carries the weight of something much bigger building beneath the surface. And now the main event. The one that had Paris on its feet from start to finish and ended in the most stunning, jaw-dropping fashion of the entire night. Seth Rollins, J. Evans, Ricky Saints, Tala Tonga. For very different superstars, all with their eyes on a King of the Ring semi-final spot. One match. Absolute chaos from the first lockup to the final bell. Evans was flying all over that arena with the kind of athletic brilliance that makes crowds forget to breathe. Tonga was a wrecking ball, throwing bodies around like they were nothing, hitting chokeslams on the announce table that echoed through the entire building. Ricky Saints landed the Revolution DDT at the perfect moment. And Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins was doing what Seth Rollins always does, finding a way to be the most compelling person in the building at every single moment. Rollins stomped Tonga on top of the announce table. He literally leapt off the barricade. He stormed back into the ring and hit a stomp on Ricky Saints. The referee hit the canvas 1, 2, and Paris was screaming. Seth Rollins was going to the semifinals. And then Austin Theory yanked the referee clean out of the ring. The count stopped. The crowd erupted in absolute disbelief. Montez Ford charged out from the back to deal with Theory, but that opened the door perfectly for Braun Breaker and the Vision. Breaker blasted into the ring and speared Seth Rollins with every pound of force his body could generate. Rollins crumpled. The ring shook. Paris went silent for one devastating second. Ricky Saints immediately covered Rollins, sensing his opportunity, but out of absolutely nowhere, J. Evans launched himself through the air, hit a stunning flying og cutter on Saints, and hooked the leg. 1, 2, 3. J. Evans is going to the King of the Ring semifinals. The Young Ogs celebrated with the Paris crowd in a moment of pure, unscripted joy, bouncing around the ring, soaking in every chant, every cheer. And across the ring, Seth Rollins slowly got back to his feet, eyes locked on Braun Breaker standing at the top of the ramp, fury, focus and fire burning in equal measure. The Vision just made themselves the most dangerous enemy on Monday Night Raw. And that score is nowhere near settled. What a night. Paris brought the absolute best out of Monday Night Raw, and the WWE Universe delivered right back. Obafemi proved he is an unstoppable force on his way to King of the Ring glory. Penta and Rey Mysterio gave us a dream match for the ages. Sol Ruca showed the world she is a fighting champion. Liv Morgan marches forward in the Queen of the Ring. And J. Evans, the Young Og, just became the feel-good story of the entire 2026 King of the Ring tournament. Roman Reigns holds the World Heavyweight Championship and Seth Rollins is hunting him down. Night of Champions in Riyadh on June 27th is right around the corner, and it cannot come fast enough. That is it for this episode of WWE Universe. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, drop a comment below. Who do you think wins the King of the Ring? Is it Obafemi? J. Evans? GUSO? Tell me everything. Subscribe so you never miss a single highlight, and I will see you right back here for the next one. Peace.